Today, we're excited to talk about how to spice up our home without a complete remodel. That is great.
Love this topic. Are you interested in maybe elevating your kitchen specifically? Well, you don't know where to start that process. Trust me, you are not alone. There is a lot to think about when it comes to what designs work in a kitchen.
So here to walk us through the process and where you should begin is the creative director at Atelier Jacob, Catherine de la Sablonnière. Welcome to Great Day Washington. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Of course. So there's a lot to talk about, and it can be daunting if you want to update, but what do you recommend in terms of, just some high-end materials that might help us out in our kitchen?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can start with the door models and the door materials, right? Those are really, really important and can make a big difference in elevating your kitchen and your space. So you can go with a European laminate if you're dealing with a more modern or contemporary style. And then you can also go with a lacquer or a real wood veneer. Whether you're doing contemporary or doing more, we're seeing a lot of English style lately coming back, so a little bit more traditional and comfort. So those materials you could definitely use to create that style and elevate the whole space.
I noticed from a few of the photos you sent over, it used to just be white kitchens.
Yes.
Everything was white, but there was a lot of woods and
there is, and you can see that's like what I brought
this color wood.
Yes. So we've got real wood here. This is actually an engineered surface. It's like a super matte finish, which brings a lot of depth, and it's soft to the touch. And everything is basically about doing it with intention and something that resonates with us. And that's where we find things elevating. It's that resonating with us. And the colors that we have now, we go, like you said, from white, and now we're doing, does this resonate with you? Do you feel good about it? And how can we include that in the design and not just do white for the sake of white?
Right. I bet you love that as a designer. Let's switch it up a little.
Sure.
You brought, this is a very pretty palette. Would you say these are trending?
Definitely. And like I was saying, like an old English style is definitely coming back, but we're seeing it a little bit differently, where it's softer colors and really going with different model of doors that change it up a little bit, from like a shaker door, going with a slim profile, something a little bit more research, a little bit more with intention again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the innovative functionality? So you still want the kitchen to work for you, I assume is what that means?
Yes, but at the end of the day, a kitchen is a kitchen. We know what we do in a kitchen. We know what we need, right?
Yeah.
But there's certain things that really elevate your day-to-day routines, and that's what we're looking for. So having a back kitchen is really coming back very strongly, and we're seeing a very big trend towards that. And the reason is just that it allows us to have a beautiful kitchen in the front and have our small appliances or like easy go-to toasters there. The crumbs are there in the morning. That's fine. The kitchen still looks really good in the front. Things like that, and things like having a little coffee nook. So if your routines, if you have like little rituals, with your coffee or with your tea or things like that, that's something to have like really dedicated for your own life.
Sounds very cozy and very lovely.
Yes.
What about for ladies like me who like a little luxury? Like, what are some small, I'm not going to redo my whole kitchen, but like, what things can I do to make it look luxurious?
Right. So for sure you can go play with decor. That's an easy go-to. If you're going with a little bit more budget, you can work with the stone. So changing your stone can be something that makes a big difference, especially if you're going to go with a natural stone. That just speaks luxury to begin with. Often going with like a leather finish that you can touch and feel the finish of the natural stone. There's just something to that. And then if you're going with a finish like a Decton, which is a high technology stone that imitates nature but is very durable, you're also elevating your space automatically.
I also see you have a lot of islands in your, is that a staple in a kitchen?
It's really depending on the space. Again, an island, everybody wants an island. If you don't have one, you want one. The reality is, once we work with your real space, once you work inside of your space, you want it to feel okay for your daily life. So if there's space for an island, definitely it's wonderful. It's a gathering space.
I also think, can you change your hardware out quickly to make like Elaine's point? It doesn't cost that much, right?
Absolutely, yes. You could go with a light brass, like nothing too yellow, right? You're going to want something that feels luxurious. So nothing too yellow, a soft brass, a champagne, nothing black. Black is really past. If you're doing black, it's really going to depend on the shape. You're going to want to stay away from something too contemporary.
This is so helpful. Can you come look at our kitchens?
Yes, please.
I kind of want to redo ours. Okay, come on over. For more information or to schedule an appointment, you say this, Elaine. You said the name so beautifully.
You go to atelierjacob.com.
That was beautiful.
I tried. Thank you so much.
Thank you.